Property prices rose by 7.6% in the year to September, according to the Central Statistics Office. That's a slight increase in the rate from August, while there remains a big gap between growth in Dublin and the rest of the country. With prices continuing to rise at a fast pace, the median price of a dwelling in the country in the year to September was €380,000, according to the CSO. That's €36,000 higher than the median recorded a year ago. But there is, of course, a significant variance in prices across the country. In the year to September, the area with the highest recorded price was Dublin's Blackrock, where the median price was €808,000. Outside of Dublin, Bray in Wicklow had the highest median price at €550,000. Meanwhile, Castlereagh in Roscommon had the lowest median price at €148,000. But while property prices remain far higher in Dublin, they continue to rise at a faster rate in the rest of the country. According to the CSO, Dublin prices were up 5.3% in the year to September, compared to a rise of 9.4% elsewhere. More than 50,000 purchases were filed with revenue in the 12 months to September, which is up slightly year on year. Of those, the majority were by owner-occupiers, with 38% of purchases made by first-time buyers. Well, our economics and public affairs editor David Murphy has more on this. David, it seems as though prices are getting further and further out of reach of would-be buyers. Any good news in this data?
Well, you're absolutely right. And I think partly because of lower interest rates, we're seeing house prices continuing to rise month on month. I think in terms of the good news, there may be slightly more positive news from the Dublin point of view. As you referenced there in your report, we can see the prices in Dublin are rising at about 5% as against around 9.5% outside Dublin. So economists are wondering, is there the beginnings of a trend here where we're going to see slightly lower growth in house prices in the capital? Now, the big answer to that is what's going to happen with supply. We had a big housing plan announced by the government last week. We'll have to see whether or not that's going to take effect. We'll have to see what the completions are for this year. But at the same time, we've got to see that the overall trend is a massive lack of supply, massive pent-up demand, and the population is growing. And all of that would lead you to believe prices are going to continue to increase. Okay, thank you very much for that, David. Well, separate data from the CSO today shows a significant increase in the value of exports during September. €28.5 billion worth of goods were exported in the month, with up €6.2 billion or 28% year on year. Exports to the US grew by €9.1 billion. That's a more than doubling year on year. Medical and pharmaceutical exports were up 74% to €18.7 billion. At the same time, the value of imports into the country rose by less than 4% to €11.1 billion. It means the country's trade surplus jumped by almost €6 billion to €17.3 billion. Yesterday's Cloudflare outage affected businesses around the world, including social network X and AI chatbot ChatGPT. It's the latest example of how dependent businesses have become on global tech providers, and once again highlighted the need for greater resilience.
People really need to think of what resiliency you can have in place to stop an outage like this happening in the first place. Have you thought about what keeps your business online? What if that service goes offline? What is the impact that can have to your business? Have you tested plans for redundancy, really having that resiliency mindset off the back of it? And then risk acceptance of the likes of these third parties. How reliant are you for your business if these go offline?
Inflation in the Eurozone eased slightly last month. According to statistics agency Eurostat, euro area inflation stood at 2.1% in the month compared to 2.2% in September. In the wider EU, there was inflation of 2.5% compared to 2.6% a month before. Romania had the highest rate of inflation at 8.4%, while Cyprus had the lowest at 0.2%. Ireland, meanwhile, was above average at 2.8%. But the data adds expectations that the ECB will continue to hold interest rates steady at its next meeting in December. Now, taking a look at the markets. The ISAC 20 index is up 1%. Kingspan and Ryanair have gained. Bank of Ireland and Greencoat Renewables are both down. In London, the FTSE index is up slightly, while the DAX in Frankfurt is up 0.3%. The CAC in Paris is up marginally, while in Tokyo and K closed 0.3% lower. And on the currencies, euro buys 88.3 pence sterling and $1 US and 15.9 cents. That's the business news.